Hello and welcome to Opinions Plus. I know I don't get many views, and part of it I can understand. They're just not interested in a white haired guy like me talking about things. But, and I don't get much response from my family as well, so, that's a kind of a surprise. I did it first, but, it, like everything else, it gets old, apparently, or I don't know if that's the right term, but it's the same old thing. The people need new things all the time. I guess that's why TikTok is so TikTok-ish and ingrained, and it gets such benefits by viewership and all that. But I'm going to go on with my approach because I know it matters to some. There are some who commented, and I know that these thoughts have some meaning, and I appreciate that. But, it is an interesting world that we live in. There's so many things to consider, so many ideas to be aware of that we are inundated with constantly. Well, this little clip is going to be one that I'm asking you, and I've asked before, to consider things because they're important to you. They're important for you. They're important for our society because it makes, I believe, you and me a better person, a better part of society by just the sheer act of communicating. But what does that mean? Why did we do it? What does it matter? There is something there. There is something beyond just the fact that you're living from day to day. You're not just here as some substance, some material blob. As I said in one of my previous clips, creationism versus evolution. Well, there's more to it than that, obviously. And one of the main questions is, what? Do you have a soul? Do you have a purpose? Do you have a being within? And if you believe that, if you have some sense of it, and again, this is an orthodox religion. I try to stay away from all that. I know it creeps in here and there, but I don't know quite how to avoid that. But do you have a soul? If you have a soul, if you believe you have a soul, or you're just a blob of material that just developed out of nothing, then what do you do with it? What's your purpose? What's your end game? Is there an end game, or are you just living from point to point, moment to moment, because life is there? And I listen to a lot of scientists and people talking about what they poo-poo the concept of creationism. They demean it. They minimize it. For some reason I don't really understand, because it's an obvious thought. It's an obvious point. It's an obvious consideration that is not looked at. The question, of course, is, what is life? Well, it's just something that came out of the sea and a little electricity in there, and you got some amino acids, and they came together and they created us. But it only took 1 billion, 2 billion years, whatever, 3 billion years, whatever it takes. And the scientific community puts that in there, evaluates it, and says, yeah, that's it, just time. Time does everything. Time makes it happen. Time makes this impossibility possible. And yet, the question comes back, do you have a soul? Do you have a purpose? Do you have a being? Do you have a thing within you to honor? And this clip is to just remind people that we have souls, that we have purpose, that we have to honor that. Whether it's the ancients, the Aristotelian concept or whatever, or the indigenous populations of yesteryear or even of modern society. But modern society is corrupted. Modern society is influenced by so many different ideas, so many different things. I'm not trying to speculate, or I'm not trying to present a philosophy or a point of view. Well, that's not true, is it? I am promoting a point of view. When I say go to the good, good is not just something. Good is intangible. Good is something that is a existential thing that's out there, that affects us, that touches us in so many ways, all positive ways, all ways that create benefit. Yet we do not achieve it. We do not work towards it. We do not push ourselves to go that way. Why? Because the obvious thing, society builds on war. I know I go to the extremes many times, but that's the fact. War is part of humanity. Why is that? Is there a reason for that? Is there a purpose for that? Other than killing and acquiring property and money and power? Go to the good. Question yourself. Do you have a soul? And if so, what does it mean to you? What is your purpose in life? I say it's to go to the good, to create, to be your created thing, to fulfill its purpose. Their purpose is what? It could be anything, whether it's the gods in Greece or, some deity from wherever, or the Christian concept of heaven and hell. Whatever it is, it's something that you can work towards because it's eternal. It's purposeful. It is there. There is something there. And I ask you to look for it, to think about it, all to achieve some benefit. Because what we've done so far in this latter years is create an environment that is just alienating that concept of soul. We don't want to do that. Take it, accept it, use it to become a better society, a better people, a better individual. That's what it's all about. Goodness. Keep hope alive. Go to the good. Always go to the good. Thanks for listening. Have a good day. If you like what you hear, subscribe. If you hit the like button, again, one of these days I'll figure this out. But, comment. Talk to each other. It's not just for me. It's for everybody. Share it. We have a soul. Let us use it. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.